beginners, you cannot avoid or manage complications if you don't know how and why the complication happens and what precautions to be taken. Because we all work on a common and simple principle, cause no harm, do no harm to the patient. To avoid the complication, I'll be talking on 5 to 6% complications has been written in literature, most common being dural tear. Second is epidural hematoma. Third is neurological weakness. Fourth is incomplete decompression. Then comes neck pain because of instability. Irrigation related complications like headache, drowsiness, blurring of vision, seizures. Infection and vertebral artery injury, these are less common complications reported. So to avoid above complications, I will be talking on patient selection and basic anatomy, what you should know, and then surgical procedure per se. UBE essentially is a posterior surgery where we commonly do foraminotomy and decompressive laminectomy. So paracentral disc osteophyte complex, stenosis and OPLL less than 50% becomes the indication for surgery. Beginners should know that central disc, OPLL more than 50%, severe stenosis and instability, we should not do posterior endoscopic surgery because there is higher chances of developing neurological weakness. Coming to anatomy, see, we are doing surgery, minimal invasive, and our surgery is mainly depending on radiology, CM, X-ray. So you should be thorough with your anatomical landmarks. So first comes viewpoint. This is the starting point of cervical endoscopic spine surgery. Second comes uncus. This is important because we know that uncus defines the disc. So all the paracentral compressions will be somewhere around this. Then comes facet joint because we have to preserve at least 50% of the facet joint. Then comes pedicle. It helps us in making portals and it defines the decompression. Lastly, vertebral artery. Lateral to pedicle is vertebral artery. There is some difference between lumbar spine and cervical spine that you should know. The muscles of cervical spine are quite thick, whereas the lamina and phleum is quite thin. Coming to surgical step, the surgery is done under general hypotensive anesthesia for the sheer reason of clear vision. Position make sense here because good position will help you to control bleed and make surgery easy. So for cervical UBE, patient's neck should be flexed. Make it horizontal by elevating head end. Flex the knee so that it gives counter and use adhesive plasters on buttocks, head and shoulder. Always check CM APN lateral before surgery so that you know before pending draping you are able to see your interested level. So positioning help in protection of eyes. It controls bleed by avoiding pressure on abdomen and elevating head end. Also it helps proper positioning to surgeon's comfort. Bring neck parallel to ground, it will make your disc vertical and you will be able to work comfortably. Portal and working space, I won't be going in detail, but while making these portals, please cut fascia very liberally. Always use blunt dilator. Don't push through the muscles. Go gentle and always target bone, lamina or lateral mass. And avoid going interlaminar space because as we discussed early, the phleum is very thin. There are chances you will end up in developing neurological deficit. Coming to entry point, V point is a target point and not spinolaminar junction. Coming to fluid outflow, to avoid the irrigation related complication, always use gravity assisted irrigation system, and if you are using pump, then pressure of pump should be 30 to 50 millimeter of mercury. For any reason, if your vision is not clear, so don't increase the pressure or elevate the bottle, but check for proper outflow. Again, you can cut fascia very liberally or use some cannula or semitubular retractor so that your fluid comes out easily and your vision becomes clear. Coming to laminotomy and laminectomy, one should know where the compression is. So as I discussed earlier, Uncinate process marks the lateral margin of disc and disc osteophyte complex. So all the compression is somewhere around this. So compression just lateral to uncus and pedicle will be sufficient for the root decompression. Coming to laminotomy, we have to make this V point into U point by burying cranial lamina, by burying facet joint and by burying caudal lamina. So for cranially and laterally, you have to burr till separation of ligament phloem, and you have to take utmost care while burring caudal lamina because it is very thin and there is no ligamentum phloem below it to protect us. So burr only outer cortex and use 1 number carison after that so that your surgery becomes smooth and complication less. Always use diamond burr with hood and keep ligamentum phloem intact till you feel that your full bony work is done. How to check adequate decompression? So indirectly, to avoid the inadequate decompression related complication, or decompression should be pedicle to pedicle. For compression, decompressing root from cranial pedicle to caudal pedicle, and for decompressing cord, it should be from right to left. While decompressing root, you should be feeling lateral margin of the pedicle because lateral to it, decompression is not required in view of avoiding injury to facet joint and vertebral artery. Coming to disc, disc always here is in axilla. You should remember, unlike lumbar spine, and if disc removal is difficult, do some amount of pediculotomy. It will make your work easy. To avoid neck pain because of instability, preserve as much facet as you can. Coming to epidural hematoma, always coagulate bleeders. Take some time to coagulate bleeder and always keep drain. It will avoid complication related to epidural hematoma. Finally, to summarize, dural tear can be avoided by using diamond burr, hooded burr, keeping RPM very low, and keeping ligamentum phloem intact. Neurological weakness can be avoided by direct contusion by dilators or scope, by keeping ligamentum phloem intact, and while using cautery or RF, don't use cutting around the nerve roots and reduce your coagulation power to as minimum as possible. To avoid inadequate decompression, always decompress from pedicle to pedicle, and for fluid related complications, check for proper outflow. Friends, there is something called as law of numbers. If literature says 5 to 6% complications are there, so it is going to happen whether you are beginner or expert. So for beginners, taking proper training, using good equipments, practice on cadavers, and use significant number of lumbar spine before attempting cervical spine is the key for success. Thank you.